You're checking your ex's Instagram again, aren't you? Most people fail no contact within the first 30 days because they're doing it for the wrong reasons. I followed the rule for 90 days, and what I discovered wasn't motivation or healing. It was the psychological mechanism that actually breaks the obsession. But here's the part no one warns you about. Your brain is literally addicted to checking on them. Day 3 of no contact, your dopamine system starts screaming for its fix. You know that little hit you get when you see they've posted something new? That's the same neurochemical reward loop that keeps gamblers pulling slot machine levers. The withdrawal is real, and it peaks at predictable intervals. Days 3 to 7, your brain floods you with what-if scenarios. Week 2, you'll rationalize why just checking doesn't count. Week 4, you'll convince yourself they must be missing you too. This isn't weakness. This is your nervous system fighting to maintain a pattern it's been reinforcing for months. Most people cave during these peaks because they mistake the urge for intuition. They think, I have this strong feeling I should reach out, when what they're actually experiencing is dopamine withdrawal demanding its next hit. Your brain doesn't care about your healing. It wants its chemical reward back. Here's how you survive the psychological warfare. First, delete their number and block them on everything. Not mute, block. Your future self at 2 a.m. will thank you for removing the option entirely. Second, when the urge hits, set a timer for 20 minutes and do something that requires your full attention. The craving will pass. They always do. Third, track your urges in your phone's Notes app. Write down the day, time, and trigger. You'll start seeing the patterns, and patterns lose their power once you recognize them. The brutal truth. Your brain will keep testing you until it learns the new rule. But somewhere around day 45, something shifts. The checking impulse fades, and you'll realize you haven't thought about them in hours. That's when no contact stops being a rule you follow and becomes the foundation of who you're becoming. Which withdrawal peak hit you the hardest? The what-if flood around day 5, or that week 2 rationalization that just checking doesn't count? Comment your thoughts below. Drop your answer in the comments below. Now let me tell you what actually happens when you push through those peaks and hit the psychological shift that changes everything. You'll know no contact is working when you feel peace and acceptance about your breakup, and you no longer feel an intense urge to get in contact. That shift doesn't happen overnight. It happens in stages, and most people miss the signs because they're still looking for external validation instead of internal change. The first sign you've broken the addiction cycle. You're not bombarded by new emotional data from your ex, freeing up cognitive resources to process the relationship's end. Your mind stops running the constant background program of, what are they doing right now? The mental space that was occupied by obsessive checking suddenly becomes available for other thoughts. You'll catch yourself going hours without thinking about them, and when you realize it, you won't panic. Second sign, their behavior becomes irrelevant to your emotional state. Whether they post a new photo, start dating someone else, or try to breadcrumb you back, none of it triggers the old, desperate scramble for meaning. You stop analyzing their Instagram stories like a detective because you genuinely don't need to know anymore. The autonomy you're rebuilding starts showing up in your choices, not just your thoughts. Third sign, you begin to reconnect with neglected interests, passions, and friendships. The energy you were burning on relationship archaeology gets redirected into building something new. You start saying yes to plans without checking if they conflict with your ex monitoring schedule. Your sense of self strengthens because you're actually investing in it again. Fourth sign, those old neural circuits gradually weaken while new pathways form around healthier habits, whether it's reconnecting with friends, pursuing creative outlets, or practicing mindfulness. Your brain literally rewires itself. The dopamine hits that used to come from checking on them now come from your own accomplishments and connections. This is the psychological shift that changes everything. You've moved from white-knuckling through withdrawal to genuinely not needing the fix anymore. Your ex's existence becomes background noise instead of the central narrative of your life. Subscribe for more brutal breakup truths and watch this next. It's about rebuilding your identity.